Hi, everyone, and welcome to Who Threw a Curveball. Uh, So, you know, something's just freaking me out right now. Before I get into the first topic, I got to cut that out. It's annoying the shit out of me. As I play it back to myself, I just keep hearing, And it's weird because I speak. I don't understand why I have to keep saying, I'm gonna try to focus on just a pause instead of because the is kind of annoying me. So if it annoys me, it definitely got to annoy you. With that said, there you go. The first I wanna talk about an issue, and it's an ongoing issue, and it's annoying the shit out of me. And you know, these social media, not only let's take it out of social media, the news outlets, right? The media, they keep talking about Afghanistan still to this day. You know what? President Biden pulled out. Eventually, we had to pull out. It didn't matter how we pulled out. It should have been a little, it should have been planned better. It should have been thought over and not made a mess. Regardless of how much planning went into it, it could have been a 99. You could have planned it 99% to perfection. Somebody would have picked it and made it look unperfect. It's a situation that, yeah, people died and people are going to die in the future. There's some people that, especially interpreters, who were left there and they were promised to be taken here with their family. And I'm sure they're suffering the consequences for being there. It's not their fault that they worked for us and we promised them something. In return, we should have kept to our promise and brought them back. But let's move on. Let's stop pointing fingers. Let's stop pointing fingers on whose fault it was. What we should have done. It's over. We did it. What we should have done is over. There's nothing to go and talk about what we should have done and keep talking. Our kids, our grandchildren, they could read about it in history books on what we should have done. Let's stop talking about it. Let's move forward because that country is still in chaos. I'm not going to talk about the chaos that it's in. I just, this is something I'm talking about this issue right here because it's annoying the shit out of me that I still have to sit there and I have to listen to this. It's over. We pulled out. We should have never been there. And we were there years ago. It wasn't Biden. It wasn't Trump. It wasn't Obama. We were there way before all these presidents. Okay. Um, damn. That kills me. Let's move forward. Let's find solutions instead of pointing fingers on who did it, who should get the blame, and laughing at them and ridiculing them. Let's find a solution. That's the problem with this country. The problem with this country is we're so busy pointing fingers and basking in people's misery instead of finding solutions. Let's stop talking about Afghanistan. All right, let's find a solution and finally close that book. It didn't work for the Soviet Union when they were there. It didn't work for us. Uh, if we look deeper into it, I'm sure we could find there was other reasons we're there. Maybe their whole opium. They plant a lot of opium. They don't plant anything else. What comes from Afghanistan? Why are we there? It's, I mean, what what type of military advantage do we get from being there? The only thing that comes from there is opium and drugs and poppy seed. Okay, so if it's not that we're investing in the drug trade, then get out. If we're going to be drug dealers, then stay in and make your profit. But let's keep going. Find a solution. We dealing drugs, we stay in there. Of course, then we want Afghanistan because somebody just stole our drug money. However, if that's not why we're there, if we're there for some military advantage, there is none. It's dirt, it's sand, it's desert, and it's poor. Like, what are we doing it? Why are we wasting our money and why are we still talking about it? Let's stop talking about it. That is the solution. Let's move on. Thanks. So on my next topic, I'm going to talk about something that was kind of, I can say, not puzzling, but disturbing. That's the word, disturbing. I was disturbed. Um, Here I am. I think I was watching Fox News, and this commercial came on about uh, elderly homes. You know, those homes where they put elderly people in, right? Kind of like an orphanage for old people. Um, it disturbs me. Why? You know, in this culture, in the American culture. Now, for those who don't know, I'm a New Yorican. So my mother and father are Puerto Rican, but I was born here in New York City. So I my culture, as I like to say, it's New Yorican. And however, in my culture, we took care, or we were taught to take care of our elders, our parents, our grandparents, and so on. I think the Asians still practice that, and not only the Asians, but some Arabic speaking cultures as well. They still practice that. However, us as Americans, seems like we just give our parents away. So our parents struggle their whole life. They work hard to take care of us, send us to school, feed us, clothe us. I mean, some of us are, are blessed, some aren't. However, our parents do take care of us. Obviously, not all parents are dealt the same hand, so they work with what they have. But to make a long story short, at the end of the day, they're our parents. But us as Americans, we do not appreciate our parents. What we do, we shit on them. So after a certain age, they become a burden to us, and we just like want to ship them away. We shop for like elderly homes, like orphanages for parents. So that's what they are. We're like giving away our parents. We don't want to deal with them anymore. We don't want to take care of them. We don't want to deal with their ailments. We don't want to deal with their schizophrenia. We don't want to deal with their dementia. We don't want to deal with the fact that they can't walk or whatever the ailment is. We don't want to deal with it. And they become a burden to us, and that's just it's become an American culture just to give away our parents. So I don't understand where this comes from, because we should appreciate. And if my mother watches this, she's gonna say that I'm the same way. I'm really not. But that's another day and another episode, and we'll talk about that. However, we should uh, take care of our parents. They struggled all their life, but yet we're quick to take them and put them away in an orphanage, or I'm sorry, an elderly home. And then, so I'm watching the commercial. It's funny because the way they sell it, it's like, you know, we have all these amenities. So it's like a little clubhouse, amenities. They have beds and this. They have friends. They have friends where I guess when they live with you, they have no friends. Well, of course not, because if their kids aren't even their friends, they're not going to have any friends. So all these amenities come with it. It's funny because they just sell all this good stuff, and yet we sit there and go, "Wow, our parents are burdens. She's sick or he's sick. They got diabetes. They got it. You know what? Maybe we should just ship them off to this orphanage or this elderly home." It's just weird where our culture has progressed to. Uh, it's almost it's almost like we don't care anything about anything except ourselves, and it's kind of sad that they play in these commercials and we sit there and we watch them and they click in our minds. And then we go ahead in our planner and we plan that, like, yeah, you know what? Let's go visit this elderly home, as though we're going to send our kids, our parents to college or something. Oh, we're going to visit this elderly home and see, what the amenities are so we can ship mom or dad or grandpa there, who's annoying the fuck out of me. So I'm just trying, excuse me, I just cursed. Who's trying, who annoying the hell out of me, and uh, I don't want to deal with it anymore. So I'm just going to ship them off to college. It's an LD home. You could look at it the way you want to, but at the end of the day, you're shipping them to an orphanage because, fine, we ship them off. And the next thing is we ship them off, and then we visit them maybe once or twice, and then we don't visit them. We don't even know about our parents. We know that they're in an elderly home or an orphanage, or if you want to think you send them to college, and we don't care. We just let them rot in this place. And most of the time, their social security or their pensions and all that, they pay for it. So a lot of times, you don't have to pay for anything. Now, if you want to send them to a real good one with like a tennis court and stuff like that, then you might have to dish out of your pocket. But if you're not fortunate, you just let them pay for their own demise. And it's just weird. And I just wanted to vent that out. Like, what are we thinking about? I would like to hear your ideas. If you want, send me your emails at am I saying again? You can send me your emails or write to me on Twitter. You can send me your emails to who threw the curve at gmail.com, or you could visit who threw the curve on Twitter. Just hit me up, and I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. And maybe I could comment on your thoughts on the next segment. But it's just a weird thing. Please don't do that to your parents. Take care of them. They took care of you, right? Thanks. So my next topic is a weird one. I found a little weird too because uh, you know I was just talking about the old age home before, and how we send our parents, our elderly parents, our grandparents to these old age homes, like because of schizophrenia, dementia, and all these other diseases, all these other mental diseases that a lot of us collect, as we should say, as we get older. However, I was listening, or I was reading some psychiatry stuff and some philosophy stuff, and I bump into a saying from Thomas Saz. Now, don't don't go ahead and fact check me on that because I might be wrong on the name. But what they're saying, or the quote is real. So if I am not quoting the right person, I don't know, sue me. So the quote is, the dead talk to you. If the dead talk to you, you're a spiritualist. If you speak to the dead, you have schizophrenia. And the other one is, if you talk to God, you're praying. But if God talks to you, you're schizophrenic. So isn't that weird? Like, if we pray to a deity that we don't see, right? So we all have different type of religions. We don't have to share the same religion or how we pray to a God. However, we pray and we talk in our minds. Sometimes we say it loudly, but we pray to something that's not, or we can't see. I don't want to say it's not there. Um, we can't see, but that's okay. But if God, or your God, or whoever you're praying to, answers you, no, that can't be. You must be schizophrenic. So isn't that like a catch 22? Like, I could pray to God, but God can't answer me. So I just found that weird how um we just take that word schizophrenia. So what is a schizophrenic? I don't even know what the meaning of it is so wide, and it includes so many things. Like, it's almost like the rug. Like, you know what? I don't know where to put this garbage. Just sweep it on the rug. So it's like, you know what? I don't know what this person has. Let's call them schizophrenic. So that's what schizophrenia has become. It's like just a term that collects things when nobody knows what's actually wrong. Yeah, the schizophrenic, they have dementia. So it's kind of weird that we could accept certain things. So we could talk to something, but that something can't talk back to us, because the minute that it does, then we're schizophrenic. We're nuts. We're crazy. Like, God's not supposed to talk to me, right? I guess he's supposed to talk to a priest, like, or I guess somebody that we a minister or anything like that, which is also another a catch 22, because the same people that preach to us about a God or about religion, or who teach us about this, right? Growing up and even at an older age, right? So we go to church or to our whatever religious instructions that we go to. We go there and we go there to learn. Somebody's there teaching us, but they're the worst sinners in the world, right? Catholic priest, and I'm a Catholic, right? They they're always getting blamed for molesting boys. God knows they probably sleep with the nuns too. It's like it's some weird shit, right? But yet we sit there and we listen to them, right? But they're human, so they make mistakes. But that's a whole different subject that'll take hours. Let's get back to the whole schizophrenia thing. Like, I don't understand why everything has to be, oh, they're schizophrenic. If you can't explain it, why did it have to be schizophrenic, or is dementia? I'm sure that we lose our mind a little bit, but not for everything. There has to be a reason. If somebody's communicating that they got communicated to, there may be some truth to that. But yet, why are we brushing it under the rug, and we find a term for it so we could just brush it under the rug? Because we can't just brush it under the rug. We have to say, hey, nah, that's schizophrenic. Let's throw it under. You can't just throw it under. Again, when the dead talk to this, when the dead talks to someone, they're spiritualists, which is true. You got all these people running around saying the dead talk to them and they know all these things, and they're spiritualists. However, if I talk to my dead grandmother, then I must be schizophrenic. If I talk to my dead grandfather, I must be schizophrenic. Like, schizophrenic. What am I doing? Talking. It's just, it's so weird how humanity just codes everything, and how we just follow this code. Like, if we don't understand something, oh, it got to be, let's look it up, boom, and we speak, or we seek the advice of a psychiatrist who has probably more problems than you do, or probably going through the same problems that you are, and yet they write you a prescription for pills, right? And say, hey, take this. So now you're taking these pills so that if you do start seeing things and hearing things, they're just gonna blame it on the pills now. Oh, well, I gave them this medication, so you may hear things. You may, that's another thing. When doctors prescribe you these pills, and you read that little booklet that they have in it, and they squeeze it in little writing, all the after effects or effects that you may incur, is like, it's crazy. So now you have an excuse besides schizophrenia why you're actually hearing things, or why you actually talking to things that aren't there. It's just, I don't know. Give me your thoughts. Again, email me at who threw the curve at gmail.com, or hit me up on Twitter on who threw the curve. And this is interesting because I'd like to hear your thoughts on that, because I'm sure a lot of us know people like that, or experiencing things like that. And right away is, oh, schizophrenic. Again, thank you. And thank you for listening or seeing Who Threw the Curve. And I'll see you on my next segment. Thanks.